Hello everyone. Once again, welcome you all to another video of our channel. And in today's video, we're gonna focus on pinch analysis. So by the end of this video, you will be able to understand what the pinch analysis is, why it is an important tool for optimizing the industrial process streams, and how to calculate the pinch analysis. So we will be going through a simple example with different process streams, and we will be solving in Microsoft Excel. Before going into the detail about pinch analysis, let's start with some of the important points needs to be understood prior. We will go through a brief explanation of each points in the upcoming slides. So let's start with pinch analysis. It is a method or a technique to optimize the plant process by maximizing the heat recovery between the process streams, thereby lowering the amount of external heating or cooling needs required for those process streams. In simple words, let's say we have an industry A where it has some hot streams that needs to be cooled down, and we use a chiller for that, and we have some cold streams that needs to be heated up, so we use boiler to heat them up to certain temperature level. So with this pinch technique, what we will estimate is how much there is a potential. What we estimate is there a potential to exchange or directly exchange the heat between those hot and cold streams, which is basically the stream that is heat cooled down or stream that is heated up, thereby if possible, how much it affects the load of external heating and cooling utilities. So that is the idea of pinch analysis. Thereby, the complete process for that particular industry is optimized. Now that we know the explanation of pinch analysis, now let's focus on what is the process stream are we talking about. So let's take a look at the stream data table here. And this is just an example of three streams involved, and it does not represent any industrial process streams or so on. So just for an example, we use these three streams in our case. So let's focus on the stream data table again. We have two hot streams and one cold streams with certain start temperature and end temperature, along with its heat capacity rate, which is nothing but the multiplication of mass flow rate and the specific heat capacity. And the figure on the right is just a visualization of each individual process streams in the stream data table. For example, red line represents the hot stream, blue represents the cold stream, just for visualization purpose, because it will be very useful for us if we have multiple cold stream and process stream, hot stream within that single industry. So that's why we plot those streams in the temperature on the x-axis and heat capacity flow on the y-axis, just for visualization purpose. Now, the composite curve. The composite curve visualizes the cumulative heat flow of hot and cold streams involved in that process. Thereby, the amount of heat recovery or external heating or cooling loads are identified. But how it is identified? It is identified by, once we plot the composite curve CC, the region where the hot composite curve overlap the cold composite curve is our direct heat recovery region. So so energy from the hot stream can be directly transferred to the cold stream via heat exchanger or other external utilities. And the amount of external heating needs in that process stream is found between the region where the highest cooling demand or the highest heating demand lies, and vice versa for the external cold utility. Moving on with the grand composite curve. On the other hand, the grand composite curve helps visualize the net heat flow characteristics of both the hot and cold streams within the process. So this curve is plotted after the heat recovery. We will discuss more about how the curve is plotted, how the heat recovery is done in the Excel calculation. So, but just for a simple representation, it is presented here. And the point with the minimum heating or cooling needs or no net heat flow requirement is our in the GCC is our pinch point. So this pinch point is a very important parameter in pinch analysis because it divides the grand composite curve into two regions. The region above the pinch point is the heating demand. The region below the pinch point is the cooling demand. So to obtain the best heat recovery, we should not transfer the heat above the pinch to below the pinch. Why so? As if we do so, we are extracting the heat from the part of the system where heating demand or heat requirement is necessary and adding it to the part of the system where cooling demand is necessary. So we are increasing both the external heating and cooling requirements in the process. That's why we should not transfer the energy across the pinch, like transferring energy from above the pinch to below the pinch. Now, so now we understood some of the basic terminologies of pinch analysis. Let's start with simple example.